So when my husband and I met, it really was truly love at first sight. I was asked to go to a Shabbat dinner, which is like a Friday night soiree with a little bit of like a religious theme. And none of my friends, I lived in LA, and none of my friends wanted to drive the 25 minutes it would take, so I felt brave enough. And I drove myself there alone, and I thought, I'll just see what happens. And on the other side of things, my husband had just broken up with his very serious girlfriend on Monday. So I walked in, and there were a few nebbishy guys there, and they were talking to me, and I was feeling kind of nervous. And luckily, I bumped into this really nice pharmacist, and he offered me a Xanax. So I was like, yeah. And so by the time my husband walked in, I was feeling really loosey-goosey, and we locked eyes, and he had this kind of like wispy, longish hair at the time, and he was sunburnt, so it like made his blue eyes sparkle out at me, and I was like, I'm gonna know this guy. And I went and sat down at the table, and he came and he asked to sit next to me, and in Forrest Gump fashion, I said, "Seat's taken." And he sat down anyway. So I kind of knew, like, oh, this is exciting. This guy might be a keeper. And we talked, and after about 10 minutes, and with the confidence only a benzodiazepine can give you, I said to him, I think we're going to get married one day. And he looked at me. Yes, I did say this. And he looked at me, and he said, I think you're right. And we dated for about another year, and I'm not going to say it was the perfect relationship, but it was wonderful, and we had some ups and downs, but I really felt like this was a strong relationship. But after about a year, I was kind of getting antsy, and I was like, well, where is this going? You know, like, don't waste my fertile years, you know, like, I don't have all the time in the world. And after our year anniversary, a few months later, was my 27th birthday, and my husband said, I have something planned for you, and it's a surprise. Just wear a cocktail dress. And I was like, this is it. He's going to maybe tell me that he's ready to move in. He's going to profess his love for me. I mean, we had said I love you, but, you know, like, for real, like, we're moving forward, and maybe I'll get some jewelry. And so we drive up to this, in Hollywood, this, like, old, like, medieval-looking, big, brown, mansion-y place, and he's like, ta-da! And I was like, where are we? What is this? Is this a haunted house? And he's like, no, it's the Magic Castle. And I was like, is this like a Disneyland kind of thing? And he's like, no. You know, he's from LA, and I'm not. I'm from here. And I was like, I have no idea what this is. And he's like, this is the Magic Castle. This is the premier place that all really big, amazing magicians come here, and they perform here, and the only way you can get in is if you are a professional magician or if you are invited by a magician. And it was amazing. It was like, I can't even believe I got tickets. And you see, like, backtracking a little bit, my husband grew up practicing magic, and he was actually on the track to becoming a professional magician. I later learned a few more details. He was a junior member of the Magic Castle, and he had a mentor in Las Vegas training him to be a professional magician, and he's now a divorce attorney. So, but I know who the other really good divorce attorneys are out there, so I'm not worried. But anyway, he was like, isn't this amazing? And also, by the way, side note, if you watch the show Love on Netflix, season 1, episode 7, like, mirrors this story. And I want you to know this is a true story from 2008. And Judd Apatow and I just, like, are in sync, I guess. So anyway, we walk in, and it's, like, musty. And there's, like, old men with young, pretty women draped on their arms and martinis. And it's, like, dinner's, like, surf and turf. And I'm just, like, not that impressed. And he's like, okay, you're really gonna like the close-up magic show. It's like really cool. And I was like, yeah, this is great. Let's get to the present. And so then we see the Pendragons. And if any of you are like older or old school and know like 80s magic, they were like illusionists, kind of like David Copperfield. And their show was like pretty cool. But I was like, let's get to dinner. And so we finally have dinner. And they bring out the meal. And they bring out the dessert. And then we're wrapping things up. And I'm like, you know, I have a lot of chutzpah, and I was like, are you going to give me a present? And he's like, this was the present. Like, I worked really hard to get you tickets. And, you know, this costs a lot of money, you know? Like, we're just early in our careers. What do you expect from me? And then it evolved into this terrible argument, and what I thought was going to be us talking about moving in together became us possibly breaking up. And so we went home, and we didn't make any decisions. But the next day, my friends called me, and they're like, what was the big surprise? And I was like, well, he took me to the Magic Castle. And they were like, oh my God! We've been trying to get into that place for years. How did he get you in? That is amazing. And so what turned out to be, in my mind, like this mediocre, like weird, you like this gift, maybe not me, was actually considered pretty cool by all my friends, which made it cool. And sadly. And in fact, he was ready to move in a few months later and did so. And I'm just an asshole. Thanks.